Hi, welcome to our live. I'm Bill, and this is,
Regenia.
we're talking about real estate today. So, Virginia, what do you
Yeah.
want to talk about real estate today?
Well, your when you think about bills that you have to pay, your rent and your car, if you have a car note, and groceries are the three highest expense that you have. You can always pay on a light bill, pay on a phone bill, pay on a water bill, but that rent, or your mortgage and your car note, you definitely want to have money for that.
Yeah, because nobody wants to go out in the street.
No way, Jose. And the sooner you become a homeowner, the better, because rent goes up once you sign a lease, like every 6 months. And when you think about it, you might as well be in a home. With the cost of renting a condo or a townhouse or an apartment these days. Plus, you have more privacy when you become a homeowner.
Provided you buy
Hey,
a
Bridget
home.
D is in the chat. Hello, Bridget.
Hello, Bridget. Great to see you in the chat. And that's provided that you buy a house that is a separate house. If you buy a condo, it's a lot like having an apartment, except like you said, the rent doesn't go up.
Absolutely. And, condos are for people who really don't want to have to do all of the lawn, front and back. It's a nice home setting, but, and you are pretty tight next to your neighbor. So it does feel like you are, renting an apartment, but you still have that homey type feeling in a condo or a townhouse.
That's so correct. When I was younger, and I think every 10 years we change our way of looking at life. But when I was younger, I always called a condo as the right to rent, but it isn't. It's a lot
I
more.
tell you, it's like if you're really not ready for a home and you just got out an apartment, but you're really not ready for a home, but you can try the condo or the townhouse. To me, that's the next step to owning a home and give you an idea. Because if I'm not mistaken, if you're buying a condo or a townhouse, you're still responsible for any, plumbing or electrical, you know what I mean? Responsibility. But somebody say, I just want a little bit of yard. I don't want all of that yard.
Mhm. I think with a lot of the condos in San Diego, you're
Oh,
responsible, like you said, in for the interior, but all of the exterior is within the condo association fee, and that's one of the things that you have to look at when you buy a condo, just like you have to look at with renting. Pray that there's rent control, but when you get into a condo, make sure that your condo association fee is low, and that they're not going to, what is the regular increments allowed within the rules of the condo association.
yeah. And then another thing with a condo or a townhouse, unlike an apartment, you may have a garage or two. So that kind of gives you a little bit more security as well, right
Right.
before you move in this 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom home. Especially if you're a single person, you don't have any children, you're not married yet, but you want more privacy.
And if you're in the military, it's always good to check into your VA veterans loan
Oh, yeah.
rates, because with the veterans loan, you can actually get a house with no money down.
No money down, dollar down. And if you are like me, a senior citizen, and those arthritis is, on the bone, and you want to move to a place where it's warm, and I'm going to mention Florida. Everybody want to move to a place where the beach and the sun is shining and it's warm all the time. Uh, the only thing to worry about are those hurricanes that happened this year. Oh my God. I know, and they're so used to it. It's like, oh, we have these all the time,
Yeah.
but it seemed to be getting worse like this year. And, I don't know, they're starting all over depending on how bad it is. I mean, like, come on, every hurricane season, Bill.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we were talking to somebody the other day that had moved out of, actually, I was talking to somebody over at the Prado restaurant, which I like to go to in Balboa Park. They moved out of Florida because of 3 hurricane
Oh,
seasons, and they said, forget it.
yeah. I mean, three strikes, you're out.
Yeah,
And I mean,
exactly.
so many people lost their home beyond repair this time around.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like they suffered with one hurricane. And then when the second one came, if they didn't get it the first time, they definitely got it the second time. And it's like they hate to leave, but they gotta go because no house, no car, no furniture, only the clothes on their back. And the neighbors are gone, front, back, and center. Not only that, but the businesses. It was a total disaster. My heart goes out to everybody that had to go through that this year.
Right. And for them, one thing to do is before settling with your insurance company, just like those motorcycle accidents, get a lawyer, because acts of God a lot of time are written out of insurance policies. But the thing is you might be able to have a lawyer put it back in. You never know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's like, if you decide to move, move where? I mean, if Florida is where you've always lived and you've never lived anywhere else, it's like you have to decide, where can I go? Especially if your heart is into that lifestyle about boating and fishing and
Yeah.
beaching and everything. Where can they go? Can they afford it? Because finding a place to stay is very, very hard. Everybody is looking for shelter. People who are moving here and people who are just moving around.
And a lot of people take their first time home, and they think of that as an investment. And I
Oh,
want to
yeah,
warn people, your home is not an investment. That's your home. If you have a second home, that's an investment. But one home,
oh,
an investment does not make, because we can have a housing crash at any moment. As a matter of fact, they've been saying for the last couple
absolutely.
of years about that.
And
And
like you and I were talking about money last night, it is good to have an emergency fund in place.
oh yeah,
You know, uh, I'm telling you because it costs to move. I don't
yeah.
care if you move down the road, across the street, across town. It's gonna cost you money on gas and the vehicle, and having deposits on lights turned on, gas and water, and all that good stuff. It costs money.
And a lot of times it's better to just get rid of everything and start over.
Yes, if you got, it's
Yeah.
easier if you're just single, but when you got children and you got the schools to think about, and I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
lot. If you have pets, I mean, it is so much to, what I mean? You just, what do? Give up your pets, give up all of the things you want, but you have to be strong when that happens.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And one last bit of advice for everybody is, with a home mortgage, just like we were talking about yesterday, do not go into refinancing your home unless it's just really
Oh, yeah.
close to after you purchased it, like within 1 or at most 2 years. But when you
Mhm.
get more equity built up in your home, and if you just, as your home appreciates, the
Yeah,
at least in California, the tax assessor loves it when you refinance your home, because then they can reassess your home and hit you with more taxes. So just be very careful and just save your money instead of refinancing your house. Any other last minute
absolutely.
words of advice for our crew today, Bridget included?
Well, I just remember taking a real estate class many, many
Uh-huh.
years ago. I was trying to get that license to be able to sell real estate because it's good money, especially when you can sell a house to commission on it. But I never did, you know, something happened where I had to discontinue the course, but I learned so much, you know, just taking the course. So even if you want to buy a home, it wouldn't hurt to take a real estate class or two.
That's a good idea. Now, it's our time for saying goodbye. We love you all.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.